This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, let's start. So, yesterday we understood what exactly is ATP. From last 2-3 sessions, we were trying to understand how availability check works in SAP. So, what we understood is ATP. What is the full form of ATP? Tushar?
Promise.
Yeah. Tushar, what is ATP?
So sorry.
Yeah. Can you tell me what is ATP? It
So no, I
is
don't know. Sir.
okay. That is the reason I asked because normally we understood the topic, but the full forms are also important. Okay, so it is available to promise. Okay, what do you mean by available to promise? So whenever you are getting the order from the customer, okay, you want to ensure that the sufficient quantity is available to confirm that much quantity to the customer. So what happens is whenever you are creating a sales order, system determines how much ATP quantity is available. ATP quantity means the quantity which can be committed to the particular customer. So based on what is my stock, what are my total planned incomings, what are my total planned outgoings, based on that system will be performing the ATP check, and on a particular date system will tell us whether that much material is available or not. Okay, so that is available to promise. So in SAP ECC, okay, I'm talking about ECC and comparing it with S4 because when I say advanced ATP, this is a new topic which is introduced in SAP S4 HANA. This was not there in SAP ECC, right? So in ECC, available to promise, or I can say basic, there were multiple types of available to promise. So I'll write it in this way. So available to promise in ECC. The first thing was the basic ATP, basic availability check. Instead of basic ATP, I should say basic availability check. What is basic availability check? The thing that we have done till now. Okay, yesterday, in the last week, we have seen the system will perform the basic availability check. It will verify how much is the stock, what are the planned incomings, planned outgoings, everything. Once it is calculated, system will be able to tell us whether the material can be delivered on the planned delivery date, requested delivery date, or it will do the forward scheduling and tell us that which date we can confirm to the customer. So that is a basic availability check which is available in the system. This basic availability check also performs the basic backorder processing. So in basic availability check, it includes the ability of the system to perform the ATP check, and if we want to do the backorder processing, even we can do in the basic availability check itself. So this is one thing. Second thing, if you want to use advanced features, okay, there are product allocation, for example. Product allocation is one of the scenario which is not available in the core ECC system. If you want to do the advanced backorder processing, advanced, as I told you, the product allocation. So if you want to do the advanced features, for advanced features, for advanced ATP features, I'll say, we were using GATP functionality, which is global ATP functionality of APO system. Okay, what do you mean by APO? Similar to ECC box. Okay, so let's say we have a ECC box. Let me just do one thing. Let's assume this is my ECC box. Okay, and there was a need of additional system which is called as APO. So what was happening is my core basic features, if I want to perform the common basic availability check, it was happening in this system. But if I want to use advanced features, if I want to use global ATP was only available in the APO system. This is a completely different system which can be integrated with ECC. So if you are using APO, you need to pay the separate, because this is a separate product. So you have to pay the separate licensing fees to SAP. You have to deploy it on the another uh, server. So hardware charges, software charges, it definitely involves a lot of cost. Okay, so this APO was available as a separate system, and all these advanced features, they were already only available on APO. Okay, which means if I want to perform the availability check here, I can perform the basic availability check, but if I want to perform the advanced ATP check, in that case, I have to create a integration between these two systems, so that whenever system is performing the ATP check, it not only performs the check in the core ECC system, but the check should be also performed in APO. This was a very complicated architecture, right? Although it provides you a lot of benefits, because if you're not using APO, then you'll not be able to use the advanced features. But it was complicated because not all the data was available in one single system, right? So there was a lot of coordination required. There was a lot of interfacing required in order to transfer the data from here to here and transfer the data from here to here also, right? So this was the challenge in SAP ECC. In ECC, this is how my basic availability check was working and my advanced ATP checks were working. Now what I have done in SAP is, in SAP S4HANA, so ATP in S4HANA, what SAP has done is, so ATP in S4, so definitely we still have the basic ATP check available, basic availability check, and then SAP came up with advanced. This terminology itself is completely new. Advanced backorder processing. Okay, so this is part of advanced ATP. So within advanced ATP, one is backorder processing. So we already seen what is backorder processing in basic ATP yesterday. But in addition to that, there is advanced Fiori based backorder processing is now available in S4HANA, and even advanced ATP, which is related to product allocation. So these are the important functionalities which are available only in SAP S4HANA without even going to APO box. So if I want to use this advanced ATP feature now, if I want to use advanced ATP for backorder processing or product allocations, earlier these functionalities were only available in APO. So there was a need of a separate APO system. But now these features, advanced ATP features, are pre-delivered in our S4 HANA box itself. Okay, so the same system that we are using, we don't need two systems like ECC and APO. In one single system, we'll be able to carry out all these processes. So that is the biggest advantage when it comes to ATP, okay, in SAP S4 HANA. Now we already understood what is basic availability check. What we will do now is we will understand what are this advanced ATP backorder processing functionality available in S4 HANA, and what is this advanced ATP product allocations functionality available in S4. So when it comes to backorder processing, what we discussed yesterday, we discussed that backorder processing means whenever any sales orders are not confirmed, if you are not able to fully commit the quantity, then based on the priority of the customer or based on how we want to change the committed quantity from one sales order to another sales order, that we can perform using backorder processing. We understood there are two types of backorder processing. One is manual, where the user who wants to uh, uncommit the quantity from one sales order and want to commit it to another sales order, he can do it with manual intervention. On the other hand, there was second type of backorder processing called as rescheduling. In the rescheduling, system will confirm and unconfirm the quantity based on the delivery priority. Okay, so normally delivery priority is very important in case of rescheduling, where we can go and we can tell the system based on the delivery priority, try to commit the quantities to the sales orders. Right? Same way, there is a new concept or there is a new way of performing the backorder processing in SAP S4 HANA. okay, which is not only based on delivery priority. You can select any combination of fields and you can tell the system to whom the preference should be given. Okay, so even if my delivery priority is not top, even if my delivery priority is not high or very high, but still, if I want to consider a combination of a customer, material, or any particular field, then I can tell the system that this particular combination should be given the highest importance. Right? So this advanced backorder processing works on this logic. This is a new logic. 5 confirmation strategies. There are 5 confirmation strategies which are provided in SAP S/4HANA for advanced backorder processing. Okay, so what exactly are these confirmation strategies? So you can see the confirmation strategy. First one is when. Okay, you can see confirm as requested, shall be fully confirmed in time. So these are those customers. Okay, I can create a confirmation strategy which can be the combination of my customer, combination of my delivery priority, whatever different confirmation strategies I want to create, I can create, and I can tell the system that if this sales order belongs to this customer plus condition 2 plus condition 3 plus condition 4, whatever are your conditions, if that condition is true, this particular strategy will get the highest priority. Okay, which means this customer will always win, irrespective of the uh, whether the other customers are getting the material or not, but we will definitely try to give full material to this customer. Okay, so let's assume this customer is giving you the order now. Okay, and you have only quantity in the stock, the quantity is only available as 10. And this customer is asking you to deliver the material in next 3 days. How much quantity? Customer is asking for 100 quantity. Okay, this customer is asking for 100 quantity, and this 100 quantity you have to give in 3 days. In your stock, you only have 10 quantity. So what will happen is, system will try to give the material from those customers or from those strategies which are the lower priority. So for example, there is a confirmation strategy called as loose, which means whenever you will be performing the backorder processing automatically, whatever quantity has been given to this type of customers or this kind of strategy, it will be removed from this type of customers and it would be given according to the priority. So if I already allocated some material here, let's say I allocated 50 quantity to this confirmation strategy. So the orders which are falling under this strategy already consumed 50 units. So what will happen, as soon as I perform the backorder processing, all the 50 units will be transferred from here to Win, which means 10 was already available, 50 we got from this strategy. Okay, still we are left with 40 quantity. So system will try to go to this strategy and it will find out if there are any quantities which are committed to this particular strategy. So let's assume 30 is available from this also. So system will remove all the quantities given to this type of customers, and 30, all the confirmation orders which you have created, the quantities you are confirmed, the confirmation would be deleted and the 30 quantity will be transferred again to the win situation. Okay, now we are left with 10. So let's assume in redistribute, we have 30 quantity which is already allocated to the customers, but we don't want entire 30, right? Which means you can see should gain but may also lose. So in this case, out of 30, we want to remove the 10 from here and we want to give it to the win situation. Okay, so ultimately win has got all the material that the customer has requested. Okay, we are getting the quantity from the strategy where the customers are falling under this strategy, lose, under this fill, under this redistribute, and we are copying everything. We are taking all the quantities from here and we are trying to confirm the quantity for those strategies which are in the win situation. So this win situation means the customer is the boss. Whenever customer is asking for any material, if the material is not sufficiently available, we will take that material from redistribute, fill, and lose categories. Okay, so the first priority would be given to lose, which means we will first delete all the quantities from here and we will give it to the win. Even after that, if something is required, we will check in fill. Even after that, if something is required, we will go to redistribute. Okay, but understand, we will not go to gain. Gain will not transfer to win. This win and gain, they are very important customers. Both are important customers. Only difference is, okay, the only only difference is here you can see I may not be able to confirm the 100% quantity. Okay, because again I am getting the, you can see who can get from gain. From gain, the first priority would be given to the lose, which means whenever a gain customer is placing the order, let's assume there is a order from this customer and there is a order from this customer. This customer is requesting 100 quantity, we already seen that, and this customer is requesting, let's say, 50 quantity. So first priority will be given to this kind of customer. What will happen? Whatever was confirmed to lose, 50 quantity will move from here to here. From here again 30 quantity will move, and from here out of 30, as I told you in redistribute, let's assume we have already confirmed 30 units to this customers, but we only want 10 quantity for win customers. So first that 10 will move from here to here. Now remaining 20 will move from here to gain. So we will not be able to confirm entire 50 quantity. We'll be only able to confirm 20 quantity because the first priority is given to the win customers. But we will definitely not move anything from gain to win. Gain will not lose anything. See the strategies, see the wording of the strategies. Win is shall be fully confirmed in time. Okay, this will not lose any time. Whatever quantity has been confirmed to this category will never be given to any other category. Same way, gain. Gain is also improve if possible. So if we can get more quantity, good, but it is not going to give any quantity to anyone. Okay, redistribute is both. So it will gain if the quantity is available here. Okay, but it will lose if the quantity is required here. So redistribute is kind of a normal where it can gain also and it can lose also. Fill means you can see shall not gain anything. This will not gain anything. Okay, so because should keep confirmation but may also lose. So definitely this is normally to lose. It will only gain if there is something available in the lose, but otherwise this is only for losing only. Okay, so mainly all those customers which are falling under lose category and fill category, during the backorder processing execution, most of the time the quantities will, whatever quantities are confirmed here, will move to redistribute or gain or to fill. Okay, so this is very important. If you want to understand advanced backorder processing, you should know what are the 5 confirmation strategies. Okay, so this slide, you should fit it in your mind. It is very important. Whenever, see, it is not necessary that you will be using this functionality always within the system. And this is also something which is not part of your certification exam also. This is not something which should be known to a beginner or someone who is learning SAP SD for the first time. The reason why I'm taking this is because at least you should know what is new in SAP S/4HANA. But nobody is going to ask you this kind of questions because this is the upgradation. Normally, this topic is covered in the upgradation sessions. When you are a SD consultant having 5-10 years of experience, if they want to upgrade themselves to S/4HANA, so for those senior folks, it is important to be very much aware of these functionalities because they must have worked on APO integration and all, which will make their life easy. But for you, it is just to remember how exactly advanced ATP works. What is advanced ATP backorder processing? Okay, any questions? You understood what are these confirmation strategies? I'll just show you the glimpse of how exactly it will work in SAP, but theoretically, is it fine?
Yeah. Once we see the practically, I think it will be more clear.
All right. Okay, practically we may not be able to see fully because it is totally based on theory, and theory in the test system is not reliable. So I will not be showing the practical full demo, but I'll be showing you what are the different applications which are available and how to use it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. This slide you will be sharing, is it? Like PPT yesterday's
Yes,
also we were expecting.
yes, I'll be sharing this.
Okay.
Yesterday's also and this one also. And whatever I created earlier also, if I have not shared, I'll share that.
Yeah, yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, so why I want to show you is how this backorder processing can be configured in the system. Okay, so first of all, if you want to use advanced ATP feature, there is only one configuration that you need to maintain. Previously, there were 3-4 different configurations that we were maintaining, but now with 1809, 1909, even 2020, you need to only make one single configuration if you want to use the advanced ATP functionality. So let me take you there. Okay, also I'll be sharing with you the standard base practices for advanced available to promise. Okay, I'll tell you what exactly it is, and it would be very important whenever you are in future, whenever you are going to work on this particular scenario. Okay, so the only configuration is on the check groups. If you remember, we discussed the check groups, availability check groups that we enter in the material master. So if I go to sales and distribution, basic functions, availability check and transfer of requirements, okay, availability check, you can see these are the different availability checks related to advanced ATP. So for example, you can see availability check against the product allocation. We will talk about that. First, we are discussing about backorder processing. So availability check with ATP logic or against planning. And this is where you create the availability check groups. Okay, if you remember this one we use whenever we are creating a material in the sales area data, we enter the check availability group. Okay, so if you remember, we provided in our material master 01, 02, I told you these are the standard, but you can use whatever different availability checks that you want to use. Okay, so here, if you want to use advanced ATP, you can see there is a option provided here. So it is telling, you are telling the system that for a particular availability check group, whether your advanced ATP functionality will work or not. So if I have a material and this material is assigned to this particular availability check group, for that particular material, my advanced ATP might be active or it might not be active. If I want to activate the advanced ATP for a particular material, then I need to make sure that I'm assigning the availability check group to that material which is related to the advanced ATP functionality. Okay, so if you want to activate advanced ATP, what you need to do is you just need to come here and you need to say that yes, advanced ATP is activated for my availability check group. Okay, advanced ATP is not a mandatory feature. It is totally dependent upon the company. If they are, many companies are happy with the basic check itself. Okay, there are few companies who wants this advanced features, and that is the reason only for those companies you need to activate this feature. Okay, or instead of using the standard availability check, instead of activating here, what you can also do is you can create your copy. Okay, let's say Z1, Z2, whatever you want to call it as. You have to assign that availability check group to your materials and you can activate that particular availability check group for advanced ATP. Okay, so I'm telling the system that I'm going to use advanced ATP for this particular availability check group. You can see there is product allocation, no PAC in advanced ATP. So if you don't want to use product allocation, then only you need to tick this. If you want to use product allocation, then this is not required to be ticked. Okay, so this is the only configuration where you need to tell the system whether the product allocation or the advanced ATP backorder processing functionality is activated in your system or not. All the other things are done in Fiori. Okay, and that is the reason, since there was no Fiori in ECC, there is no question of whether this functionality was available in ECC or not. Okay, so in Fiori, you have to ensure, if you want to see the apps related to advanced ATP, you have to ensure, I told you that in Fiori, it is totally the role-based concept. So if you have those roles, then only you will be able to see the relevant SAP Fiori apps. So this one, order fulfillment manager, SAP underscore BR underscore order underscore fulfillment underscore manager. This role you should provide to your user ID. Then only you will be able to see the Fiori applications that I'm going to show you. Okay, so in order to go to Fiori, I'm just opening the Google Chrome. Okay, or I already told you how to access it. If you are not able to see this logon 1909, I already told you, you can do one thing from here also. You can write a transaction slash UI2, first of all slash n, then slash UI2 slash FLP. This will take you to the Fiori Launchpad. Only thing is, it might take you through the Internet Explorer by default. You need to copy it and you need to go to the Google Chrome. Okay, so I'm logging into Fiori with the same user ID and password that I use whenever I'm connecting the traditional GUI. Okay, and in this one, the applications related to advanced ATP, just click on this. Okay, and obviously, as I told you, if you have the role, then only you will be able to see. So please assign that role first to your user ID. Then if you come down, you can see ATP. These are the ATP related functionalities. These are the ATP related applications. So let's assume I want to first understand the ATP backorder processing. So I'm clicking on this backorder processing, and you can see these are the applications related to advanced ATP backorder processing. Okay, number one, you can see configure the BOP segments. Okay, what are these BOP segments? In these BOP segments, you normally create your own rules. You normally create your own. If you remember, I told you, you can set up your rules. So your rule can be combination of customer, your rule can be combination of delivery priority, your rules can be combination of different fields. So whatever rule you want to set up, you can set up in this configure BOP segment. Okay, so I'll take one which is already created, because as I told you, it is not reliable. So if I'm trying to create anything new, I'm getting some errors. So what I'll do is I will, and this one, if you are using the standard system with best practices activated, then you will not face any issues. This is a test system. Somebody is playing with the Fiori. Even the Fiori technical consultants are also working on this system, and that is the reason we are facing some issues. But otherwise, in the new system, you will not be able to face any such kind of issues. I'll try to create, but you will see there is an error. So let me create a new BOP segment. You can provide the segment name, whatever name you want to identify. So let's say I'm creating the segment for my sales organization, which is RECH, and this one I'm creating for win customers. Okay, or win confirmation strategy. Okay, sorry, this is restricted to the names. Win confirmation strategy. Okay, you can provide the description also. Now, since this is name, it will not allow the special characters. I need to remove this. Okay, and you can see first itself it is throwing some error. The name may not contain space. Even the spaces are not allowed. So let me just provide some RECH win. Okay, some logical name. This is fine. Now you can see here system is asking you what is your selection criteria, which type of customers you want to include in this particular segment. Okay, so I can say, first of all, for which documents you are configuring this backorder processing. Is it for the sales orders, or it is also for the stock transfer orders, or it is a mixed? So normally we do it for the sales order. Now here you can see there are selection conditions. You can add whatever number of conditions you want. These are the different conditions provided by SAP. Okay, you can see delivery priority, you can see distribution channel, you can see customer group. So based on whatever different parameters you want to create your own strategy, you can create it here. So I'm just keeping it simple. I'm telling that if the customer is, so when I say customer, customer means sold to party. Okay, so I'm telling the system, see, we are getting this errors. So sold to party is, I'll enter the value here. So I'm telling the system if my sold to party is, let's say customer number this, okay, then I want to give him the win priority. Okay, so but if I'm doing this, what I need to do is for each and every customer, I need to come here and I need to add it into the win condition or lose condition. If I don't want to do that, I can even do it based on the delivery priority itself. So just to keep it simple, instead of creating a big combination, I'm keeping it simple. I'm saying the delivery priority 1, which means those customers who are having the delivery priority assigned as high in the customer master data, those should be given the first priority. Those customers should be given the win priority. Okay, they will fall under the win category. So like this, I can add whatever number of conditions I want here. Okay, so if I add combination of 3 conditions, system will perform that combination, and at the time of sales order creation, system will find out the combination and it will be able to know whether this particular combination is falling under the win category or it is falling under the gain, redistribute, okay, fill or lose. So based on these conditions itself, system will be able to determine the confirmation strategy. Okay, so first I am creating this conditions, then I will tell the system that under which category this condition will fall. So my first thing is I will create my conditions here. Okay, I'm not creating now, I'm just showing you. So you will be creating your conditions here, and then you can see here even there is a prioritizer, which means what priority should be given if there are multiple sales orders which are fitting in the same condition. So let's say there are 3 customers who are falling under win. Okay, or there are 3 customer orders. Okay, there are 3 customers who are given 3 different sales orders. Now, which customer should be given the first priority? Which sales order should be given the first priority? So that depends upon these fields. So here you can tell, okay, the priority will be normally by default, it would be based on the record was created. So it will be based on who has given the first sales order. Because all these customers are fall under win. So definitely we cannot segregate them. Okay, we cannot say that within win customers also I want to give the priority to this customer. If you want, you can do that, but normally what we do is first come first serve in that case. If all the customers are in the win condition, then I can definitely confirm the quantity based on the date on which I received the order, right? So that particular conditions you can add it here and you can enter the priority here. Once your BOP segment is created, so you'll be creating 3 segments here or 5 segments here. One for win, one for gain, one for redistribute, one for fill, and one for lose. Okay, again, it is not necessary to create all the 5. If you want only 2, that is also fine. But I'm just telling you, as the functionality is provided, you can create up to 5 different strategies here, the segments here. And once these segments are created, you'll be using these segments in something called as configure BOP variant. Okay, these 2 are related to config. These are not required by us. If you go to configure BOP variant, this is where you will be telling the system, okay, let me show you by creating a new. So what you will be doing here is, let's say I'm creating a variant. This is for test RECH. Okay, and this variant is again for whether the sales document or the stock transfer orders or the mixed that you can specify. This is all by default settings. Okay, and here you can enter the segment name. You can see by default it is showing you redistribute. So here you will be able to see all the 5. Add to win, add to gain, add to redistribute, add to fill, add to lose. If I want to add a strategy that I created, BOP segment to win, so I can come here and I can enter that segment here. You can see these are all the segments which you can create in the last step. So as I told you, in the BOP segment, I'll be creating one for win, one for gain, one for redistribute, one for fill, and one for lose. So I can tell the system that in this configuration, in this particular setup, in this particular activity, I will tell the system which combination will fit it in win, which combination will fit it in redistribute, which combination will fit in gain, fill, and lose. And based on this, whenever I'll be executing the BOP, okay, so again for executing the BOP, you can use Fiori itself. Schedule the BOP run, schedule the backorder processing run. When you execute this scheduling the backorder processing run, system will, what system will do? System will perform the backorder processing same way as we have seen yesterday, but yesterday it was only based on delivery priority. The only benefit of this
Hello.
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 I think we are lost.
Mm,
backorder processing as a background job, and what you need to tell is you need to tell which variant you want to use. So the variant that we created in our last step, you have to
Hello.
specify the variant. Yeah, sorry.
You were inaudible for 1 or 2 minutes.
Is it okay now?
Yeah. So we missed what you just said on backorder processing screen.
Okay. Backorder processing screen. Which one you are saying? Variant screen.
Yeah, this one.
This one?
No. BOP
This
schedule
one.
run.
Schedule BOP run. Yeah, from there.
Okay. So I'm saying schedule BOP run is a actual execution. So yesterday, if you remember, we used two transactions, one for manual BOP run and second for rescheduling. So same way, instead of using that, if you are using advanced ATP, you will not be executing those transactions. You will be executing this transaction. So you'll be coming to this schedule BOP run. Here you'll be entering the their details. So you'll be entering the variant name and when exactly you want to execute. So variant that we created in our last step, where we told the system that what are the different variants you have. So what is there in the win situation, redistribute situation. Once you enter all those variants, you can come here and you can select that variant and you can execute. Now once you schedule, once you execute, system will perform the BOP run and it will confirm the quantities based on the confirmation strategy. Okay, let me
These,
try. Yeah, sorry, Naresh.
sorry, the scheduling can't be done from S4HANA itself. We have to always use the Fiori itself.
No, this new advanced ATP, this works only on Fiori. There
No,
is no
this set,
corresponding.
what I meant is setting up is okay, but processing, scheduling, I mean to say scheduling.
This is one-time activity. Scheduling normally, BOP run, you normally keep it on day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you
So
schedule once and leave it. Okay,
yeah,
understood.
see, going forward, everything is going to be Fiori. Even the customers who are implementing SAP, maybe now, because till now, although Fiori was not that much used, but going forward in another 1 or 2 years, everything is going to be Fiori only.
Okay. Why I asked this, like as you mentioned here, when we try to schedule something, I mean for just to test or something, can we do it in S4HANA?
No. We can't do it because even if you are not able to do the last step, then you will not be
Okay.
able to execute
And
this step also, even if it is available in the transaction.
okay.
But let me try. This is a technical error, but I can try to resolve it. Yeah, just give me a minute. If I'm able to solve this, it would be very easy because I completed this topic last time, but then someone has made some changes. So even I'm going to provide you the video of my last session that I took in which it was working fine. So let's say this is RECH, and within RECH, I'm creating this strategy for win. Okay, sales order is fine. Attribute, let's assume I'm just taking one or two attributes. I'm just selecting delivery priority. So based on, see, this is the error which is causing the issue. This is a Fiori error. I solved this last time also, but now again it is causing this issue. Let's see if I'm able to solve it. This is some, see, this is Fiori related. So OData, administration, general settings. Let me try this. I don't know why people delete this again and again. I tried this 2-3 times earlier also. So NetWeaver. Gateway OData channel. Administration. General settings. Define virus scan profile. Which one I should use here? This one, as a SD consultant, you don't need to worry. If you are facing this kind of issue in the system, it is your responsibility to solve it. No, I should not touch this because this has some other implications. So I should ask Fiori to do it. So anyways, what I told you now, you just need to understand the concepts. For the in-depth understanding, I will be sharing the video with you. I already completed this topic very clearly in my next batch. So I'll be sharing that video. If you're facing any issues in that video, then you can definitely contact me. And in the meantime, I will also ask Fiori consultants to check this issue. If they're able to solve, at least you'll be able to practice one cycle in this system. Okay. But normally, this is something which is not part of your standard certification, or as a beginner, nobody is going to ask you this. This is very advanced topic. But if you know this, then definitely this would be one of the benefit. Whenever you are appearing in the interviews, you can tell that even we know the advanced topics in S/4HANA. Okay, any questions on the understanding? You got the point. See, I'll just tell you what are the different steps. Number one is when you execute the BOP. So backorder processing or BOP in Fiori, what are the different steps? You just need to remember this step. Number one is configure BOP segment. Second is configure BOP variant. These are the only two steps that you need to do. Third one is schedule BOP run. Okay, and once you schedule like a SM37 job run, you can see the job overview with monitor BOP run. These are the only 4 applications which are provided by SAP to execute the BOP run. In the segment, in configure BOP segment, you create the combinations. Okay, so whatever combinations based on customer, based on delivery priority, whatever combinations you want. In variant, you assign the combinations you created. So assign the BOP segments to strategies. What are strategies? So which of this segment would be assigned to win strategy? Which of the segments would be assigned to lose strategy? That is something you do in the configure BOP variant. And when you schedule the BOP run, you tell the system to perform BOP for a particular variant. Okay, so whenever you are executing the BOP, system will ask you which variant. So if you created multiple BOP variants, system will ask you which BOP variant you want to execute. Okay, and obviously the monitor is to monitor BOP run. These are the only 4 things that you need to see in Fiori. Configure the segment, configure the variant, execute the BOP run, and monitor the BOP run. That's it.
Hello,
Yes.
Vikram. Does it really require to create variant for loose strategy? Because it will always like let it be whenever it confirms, or it will always give, not gain. So what is the use of BOP run then for
No, but
loose?
how will you know? Akshay, how will you know that those which customers are falling in that category or which sales orders are falling in that category?
Or to segregate those you means.
Right.
Okay, so
So
this
once you
just not only uh, runs the BOP for the sales order, it also categorize the customers or the
no, it is
sales.
a combination. As I told you, see, sales order is not only for customer. In sales order, there are many fields.
Correct,
So
correct.
depending upon what is your combination can be customer, delivery priority, customer group. It can be anything. So that combinations you are selecting here in the BOP segment. You are telling the system that in this segment, all those sales orders who has this combination will appear in this BOP segment. And then this BOP segment would be given what priority that you are defining in variant.
Okay, okay. So it is not like based on customer or some. These are kind of conditions what we are providing that might change in future also.
Right, right. So see, previously it was only based on customer, it was based on delivery priority. Now
Yes.
you are getting the option to provide your flexible combination. It is up to you what fields you want to include, to which field, based on which field you want to configure the BOP, that has been provided to you. That flexibility has been added with this new BOP functionality.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, similarly, there is another, as I told you, we understood what is advanced ATP. So this advanced ATP works based on the 5 confirmation strategies. Okay, so win, gain, redistribute, fill, and lose. We understood this. The next functionality which is provided is advanced ATP within that product allocations. So what is product allocations now? So what happens is, let's assume a particular customer. Okay, I think Nagesh was asking this question again and again. I think he is definitely having this particular scenario available in his current project. That is the reason he is asking. Let's take the same example that Nagesh was saying. So Nagesh is saying that they have a seasonal product. We have a seasonal product that our company is manufacturing, and we know that in a year, or this is, let's say, only available for 2 months. In a year, this is only available for 2 months. Now, because being the seasonal product, there is a lot of demand, but we have a restriction that we can only manufacture 1,000 units in 2 months. Now what will happen is every customer would like to buy this 1000 units. Okay, if definitely based on the customer's like business, definitely I'm not saying that every customer has that budget to buy 1000 units, but let's assume that there is a good amount of demand and every customer wishes to buy maximum quantity out of this. But at the same time, our company also wants to be fair. They don't want to sell everything to one single customer. Okay, so we want to maintain the customer relationships, and we decided that if we are manufacturing 1000 units, out of this 1000 units, we will give maximum of 200 to any particular customer. Or we can say if customer A is a good customer, we will allocate 500 quantity to our main customer itself, and then remaining quantity can be kept it for other customers to proceed. So what do you mean by product allocation? Product allocation means you can tell the system that what particular material, what particular quantity you want to allocate to different customers, or again to the combination of customers and different whatever. Again, it is a combination, it is not only a customer. So you can say if a customer buys from this sales organization, if the material is this one, maybe there are another criteria also. So based on that criteria, if this is true, then I want to allocate 500 quantity to this particular customer. Okay, so that can be entered in the product allocation. Product allocation, the main functionality of product allocation is we don't want to give all the material, whatever quantity is available, to one single customer. We want to ensure that every customer has maximum limit. If not every customer, at least those customers who are willing to buy quantity, we will be providing them the limit for multiple customers. So that is the functionality of product allocation. How exactly it works? So is it okay if I, maybe because otherwise if I just give the demo without some errors, maybe I will play the video of my last batch.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Pujar, just give me a minute. I'm just trying to share that video. I am not sure whether the voice will be okay or not. Let's try. Okay, let me know if you are able to see my screen once again.
Yes.
So this is product allocation. Please confirm if you are able to hear also the video.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Are you able to hear?
Yeah, we can hear.
Okay, let's watch this video. If you have any questions, you can stop me, because this will explain you the entire end to end, rather than if I show you, we will face some issues, errors, same error that we are getting in Fiori. So better to go through this video, and in the meantime, if you have any questions, you can please ask. In this session, we will understand what exactly is advanced ATP. Okay, before we go into advanced ATP, we will first understand what exactly is ATP. Okay, so if you are coming from MM or SD background, you must be definitely knowing that in SAP ECC also, we have a concept of ATP called as available to promise. Okay, so this is a concept which is normally used to do the availability check. Okay, so you must be aware that in SAP ECC, we have something called as
PAC, which is called as product availability check. So whenever you normally create a sales order in SAP, okay, system automatically checks if the quantity could be delivered to this customer on the promised delivery date or not. Okay, so for example, let's say you are creating a sales order of a material, okay, and you are creating a sales order of quantity 100. Now system will automatically go in the background, obviously based on the settings that you maintain in the material master, it will perform the availability check. Okay, in the availability check, it will go and find out whether that much stock is available or not. Even if the stock is not available, it will also check if there are any planned orders or if there are any purchase orders which are already created in the system. Okay, so based on the delivery date, system tries to identify whether there will be sufficient stock to fulfill this demand or not. If not, system will tell you that this material cannot be delivered on the promised date. Okay, either you can reduce the number of quantity in the sales order, or maybe it will propose you some future date for the remaining quantity. Okay, so let's take the same example. So let's say customer is asking for material, okay, and he is asking for 100 quantity. Now at the time,
maybe I will, this is basic, we already discussed this multiple times. I'll directly go to the product allocation, or you want to listen to this also?
No, go to product allocation.
Yeah, allocation
Right.
is better. Yeah.
This is, I think, product allocation.
already have this ATP checks available. Okay, I'll give you one scenario in which you will understand why SAP came up with advanced ATP. So this is a basic product availability check where the system will go and find out whether the sufficient quantity is available or not. Now let's assume there is one scenario, okay, in which you have only 100 quantity available. Let's say you only have 100 quantity available of a particular material. Okay, and there are 3 customers, customer number 1, customer number 2, and customer number 3. These are your 3 regular customers, and you already know that all these 3 customers are regular customers, and they will be they'll be giving you the order of, let's say this customer always gives you the order of 50 units in a month, this customer gives you the order of another 10 in the month, and this customer gives you the order of 30 in the month. Okay, and then the remaining quantity. So let's say in the month I am able to produce 100 quantity, but out of this 100 I have fixed customers. That customer 1 will get this 50 quantity, customer 2 will get 10 quantity, and customer 3 will get 30 quantity, and I want to make sure that at 80 units are given to this customers only. Okay, now what will happen is if I create a sales order, okay, let's say there is a sales order for a customer number 4. Okay, so customer number 4 is a new customer. We were not knowing that there will be some requirement for this customer. So customer number 4 came and he asked you for 100 units, or he asked you for, let's say, 50 units. Now what would be the problem here? The problem would be customer number 4, which is a new customer. Okay, he will be getting 50 quantity, but this will create a problem for your existing customers. Okay, so if your existing customers are premium customers and they are regular customers, and you want to make sure that the first priority should be given to your regular customers, then there will be the problem if I just go ahead with the basic product availability check. Because this basic product availability check, it normally works on first come first serve basis. So if this customer comes first, he will get all the quantity available, and your regular customers will not be able to get the required quantity. Okay, so what is the solution? The solution is there is something called as product allocation. Okay, so this product allocation is one of the functionality in SAP which allows you to enter these details in the system itself, so that system already knows that I'm only going to give 20 units to any other customer because 80 units are going to be consumed by my regular customers only. So what I'll do is in product allocation, I'll
just one correction. I think in the example it is 90, but I'm talking about 80. So 50, 30, 10. 90 is already consumed. So we are left with 10.
clearly mention that this material will be given to customer number 1, 50 units, customer number 2, 10 units, and customer number 3, 30 units. And if there is anything which is left, then only that would be given to any other customer. Right? So this product allocation functionality is not a new functionality. Product allocation functionality was also available in SAP ECC, but it was only available if you are using APO in addition to ECC. Okay, so this product allocation related shakings, product allocation related checks, they were not part of the normal SAP ECC system. They were integrated with the APO module. Okay, so what was happening is, if I try to show you this in figures, let's assume this is your SAP ECC system. Okay, and in addition to this SAP ECC, there is a separate APO system. So you are creating a sales order here. Your sales order will be created in SAP ECC system, and the product availability check with product allocation will take place in SAP APO. Okay, so every time whenever a sales order is created, if you want to do this product allocation, it has to go through APO, and then APO will tell you whether the quantity would be available or not. It will again come to ECC, and system will behave accordingly at the time of creation of sales order. So what is the problem here? There is no problem as such. Okay, there is this particular functionality was used from years in SAP system. But now what SAP is trying to do with SAP S4HANA is, in SAP S4HANA, SAP is trying to bring most of the functionalities of SAP APO in SAP S4HANA system. So ECC, you know, is replaced with S4HANA. So with SAP S4HANA, what SAP is doing is, let's assume that this is another system. Okay, this time this is, just give me a minute. Okay, this is SAP S4HANA system. And in S4HANA system, what SAP has done is embedded APO functionalities. Okay, I'm not saying all the functionalities of APO are embedded in S4HANA. Currently, we are focusing on this ATP functionality. Okay, so this product allocation functionality, which was part of SAP APO till now it is becoming part of SAP S4HANA system. Okay, so in SAP ECC, you were able to do the basic product availability check, PAC. Okay, which was this one, the first scenario that we have seen. So basic product availability check is very much possible in SAP ECC system. If you are using SAP APO, and if you want to use this product allocation functionality, it is part of GATP in APO. So within APO, there is a subcomponent called as global ATP, which allows you to do this product allocation. Okay, but now in SAP S4HANA, since SAP came up with this embedded APO functionality, they are calling it as advanced ATP. Okay, so what is advanced ATP? Advanced ATP is a feature of, or I can say capability of SAP S4HANA to perform the ATP checks directly within the main system. Okay, so this is basic. In SAP ECC, you can do basic ATP. In SAP APO, you can do global ATP. And in SAP S4HANA, you are merging these two into one single box. And that is the reason the new name is given, that is advanced ATP. Okay, and within advanced ATP, currently what we are looking at is one functionality called as product allocation. Okay, so let me show you this in terms of the system now, how exactly these things will work in SAP system. Okay, so for this, I already created some data. So to demonstrate this particular area, I already created one material. So if I show you the material number, if you go to MM03, I created this material, AATP-PAL. Okay, and this material let me show you some of the important settings which you need to maintain in the material master if you want to activate advanced ATP. So for this material, I'll just go through all the views that I maintained just to make you understand what is the purpose of different views. Okay, so I'm using the standard company code 1710, storage location 171A, sales organization again 1710, and distribution channel 10. Okay, so no need to worry about this first one. Let's go to the second. This is also fine. Sales org, all the normal things, nothing new here. In sales org 2 also nothing new. Now in this one, you can see this availability check. So in SAP ECC, also this field was available, right? Whether you want to perform the availability check at the individual level or you want to do this at the collective level. So daily requirement, individual requirement, these were some of the things that we were maintaining here. Okay, now I'll show you this one. I just created Z1. You can also, if you want, you can change the standard ones, which is not recommended. So if you want to make any changes, you should copy it, create it your own, and then you make whatever changes you want. Okay, so I just copied the 01 to Z1, and in Z1, one of the very important thing that you need to make sure is you activated the advanced ATP functionality. So what you need to do is in this product availability check, okay, which you normally would be able to find in sales and distribution, basic functions, availability check, no, just give me a minute. Yeah, define availability checking group. Okay, so here this C1, this one, Z1, this is just a copy of 01. You can see most of the things, sorry, it is a copy of 02. You can see most of the things are related to 02 only. That also I'll tell you why I copied 02, why not 01. Okay, so you can see all other settings mostly are related to 2. What I've done is I maintain this as active. This advanced ATP must be activated. Okay, so if this is not activated, then definitely this product allocation functionality will not work. Okay, now there is one change in 01 and 02 also if you compare this to ECC. In ECC, we were using this daily requirement when you wanted to do the summarization. Okay, so for example, if you get 4 sales orders against the same material, so what is the total requirement on that particular day? That was getting aggregated in the daily requirements. Okay, but from session 1, we are talking about SAP S4HANA. In SAP S4HANA, there are no aggregations. Okay, and that is the reason now there is no difference between 01 and 02. Okay, both, because even 01 will not allow you to do the aggregations and storing to the table. Each and every sales order will be recorded separately and their requirements will be taken care separately, order by order. Okay, no need to worry about from the ATP point of view here. Just remember whatever you are creating under advanced ATP. Okay, again, no need to worry about this ticks also. So what I wanted to show you is this advanced ATP must be set as active. This is very important. If you don't activate it, then definitely for this particular requirement type, for this particular availability check, system will not be able to perform the advanced ATP functionality. Okay, so this is number 1. Now, there are some other configurations which you also make sure that those are done in the system in order to set up the advanced ATP functionality. Let me show you those functionalities, those configurations. So most of the configurations of advanced ATP you will be able to see in this cross application components. Within this cross application components, if you go to there is a separate folder, advanced available to promise. Okay, in this advanced available to promise, you can go, you can see this product availability check, product allocation, backorder processing. So there are various different functionalities which are part of advanced ATP. Okay, and currently what we are discussing is we are discussing about product allocation. So just make sure that this activate product allocation is set as yes. Okay, so even if your advanced ATP is active, but if you don't activate this product allocation, then within advanced ATP, you will not be able to use the product allocation functionality. Okay, so just again, make sure that product allocation is activated from here. Okay, other things related to the sales order. Okay, so let me show you one example. Okay, instead of going through the configuration, let's take a scenario and then we will come back to the configurations. Right, so I already shown you one material. So this is our material that we created, and we will see the scenario by using the same material. So AATP-PAL is my material, which I'll be using to demonstrate the functionality of product allocation. Okay. Now, in APO, as I told you, this functionality, product allocation functionality, was available in APO also. But what was the problem here? The problem was, see, you need to do some configurations in SAP ECC, and you also need to do the separate configurations in APO. So if you want to use product allocation, there has to be some configuration here, there has to be some configuration here, and there has to be data movement from one box to another box. Okay, now since we only have one single application, we for this advanced ATP, at least we don't need the separate APO box. That is the reason all the configurations are merged into one. Okay, all the configurations are available here itself. Number two, if you think about the configuration, so all the configurations which were required here and here, they were SPRO configurations. Okay, and you know, if it is SPRO configuration, it has to come to the consultant. Okay, user will not be able to do all these configurations on their own because they don't have access to touch SPRO. So every time if there is any change in the product allocation, if there is any thing that you need to do in the product allocation, it was coming to the consultants to do those changes. Okay, but now in SAP S/4HANA Advanced ATP functionality, there are only few configurations which are SPRO. All other configurations which were configurations here, now those are not called as configurations because they can be done directly by the end user using very simple Fiori apps. Okay, so let me show you which Fiori app we are talking about. So this is SAP Fiori screen. Let me just show you what are the different applications which are related to product allocation. Okay, so this is SAP Fiori, and in SAP Fiori, there is a separate group called as product allocation. Okay, so if you want to see this, obviously, I hope you already seen my SAP Fiori session where I explained if you want to see a particular group, how to make yourself updated there. So like what roles you need to add to your user ID in order to see those apps. So for product allocation also, there is a separate role available from SAP. You need to assign that role to the user ID, then only you'll be able to see all these things in your Fiori Launchpad. Okay, so this is 1909 system, and you can see here in product allocation, I can see 6 different applications, 6 different tiles. Okay, so I will go in the backward direction because otherwise it will be very difficult for you to understand. So in the backward directions, I mean, what I need to do is I need to tell the system, let's take the same scenario that we were discussing. I want to tell the system that for this particular material, that is AATP-PAL, I want to allocate this material to different customers. Okay, I want to make sure that the product is allocated to the customer. So in order to allocate the product to the customer, what you need to do is you need to go to manage product allocation planning data. This is where you will be telling the system which customer will get how much quantity of a particular product. Okay, so once you come here, there are different product allocation objects. Just click on go. Okay, so I'll show you how to create a product allocation object also, but let me first show you what I already created. So this is AATP_PAL is a product allocation object that I created, and in this one I entered the planning data. Okay, which means I already told the system how much quantity of this material should be given to which customer. You can see this. Okay, so see, my sales organization is 1710. Material number is AATP-PAL. For this particular customer, Okay, so I have allocated this same material to two different customers. So for this customer, I told the system that in the month of March, this customer will get 20 quantity. In the month of April, the same customer will get 15. In the month of May, it will get 40. June also 40. Similarly, for the other customer, 20, 25, 20, 50. Okay, and whatever is remaining, how much quantity is remaining? Let's say every month I am manufacturing 100 quantity. So 60 quantity, again I can divide to the common collective assignment. I can do the collective assignment, which means I can tell the system, okay, this material can be used by any other customer. Although I not maintain this, but I can easily go to edit mode and I can maintain this information. Okay, so I can tell the system that, okay, 20 quantity to this customer, 20 to this, and remaining 60, any customer who is requesting for this particular material in this particular sales organization. Again, here also I can do the same thing. So remaining 60 will go to all the other customers. Here also 20 plus 40, remaining is 40. And here would be remaining is only 10. Okay, just assuming that we are only manufacturing 100 quantity in a month. Right, so I can change this. Just save this. Now the question is, I am able to give this allocation at what level? I am able to give this allocation at sales organization, material number, and bill to party. Now, if you want to add a further criteria here, if you want to add a further field here, okay, that is something called as characteristics. Okay, so if you go back, I'm going one step back now. So this is where I can tell the system which characteristics I want.
Yes, Akshay.
So we have seen that against the two customer you have allocated 30 quantity or whatever quantity out of 100. Now 60 is remaining. Okay. 20 now 60 is remaining. So for the rest of the customers you have mentioned hash. Okay, so if I do not maintain those, so does it automatically gets allocated to the remaining, or how it is? Means I have to maintain hash that entry, or I do not need to maintain that.
No, this is by default, Akshay. What happens is whenever you are maintaining the criteria, system will automatically create the first 2-3 lines.
Okay.
If you are you talking about you don't maintain the quantity?
If it's n number of quantity, I'm not. I only want some two customers to be prioritized. They should not any time they should not get into back order. So I'm assuring that these two are getting quantity and remaining are like normal procedure.
Okay. Let's assume you don't know how much you are going to manufacture, but whatever you will be manufacturing, you need at least this 2020 to be allocated to these customers, right? And
Correct.
remaining quantity, you want to keep it open. So when it is zero, nothing is maintained here, system will automatically assume that all the other quantities are available for all the other customers. Okay, and also this constraint status is an important field. In this constraint status, you can tell whether this is a minimum quantity that you are allocating or the maximum quantity. So you can see this is restricted availability. Restricted availability means I cannot go beyond 20 units for this customer. Even if the quantity is sufficiently available, I am restricting this particular customer that only 20 quantity can be given.
Correct.
Right? While I am telling this, okay, this is fine. So a minimum of 20, but it can go up to any limit. Whatever customer is asking, if the material is available, the customer will get that much material. So minimum is 20, maximum can be anything.
Okay, got it.
Vikram, here the characteristics you are mentioning, like now we have restricted to customer. We can also do it for customer groups also is possible, right?
Exactly. That is explained now in the next one.
Okay.
This is where I'm showing the characteristics, how it can be created. Okay, let's go through this.
Provide the planning values. Okay, so again, if I show you AATP _PAL, here you will be able to see I told the system that I want to provide the planned values with the combination of these three characteristics. So sales organization, material number, and bill to party. If I want to add any other characteristics, I can easily do that, but not now because already I have the plant data, so it should not be touched. Okay, so what I'll do is, just to show you how exactly it will work, I will create a new planning object. So the first step, whenever you want to do this product allocation, is you have to create a new planning object and you have to tell the system in your planning object what are the different characteristics that you want to see, at what level you want to do the quantity planning. Okay, so how your quantity would be measured? Let's say for this particular material, it would be each. Okay, so this is nothing but unit of measurement. You just need to give some allocation object name and description. So let's say this is AATP underscore PAL2. Okay, I'm giving the same description also. Okay, quantity, collective. So if you remember, 20 we are given to customer 1, 20 we are given to the customer 2, and we were left with 60 quantity. So that 60 quantity we are giving it collectively to the other customers. So system is asking you whether you want to maintain the collection figures or not. Okay, so there are three options. You don't want to maintain the collective allocations, you want to maintain the collective allocations manually, or you want to maintain the collective allocations managed by the system. I'll tell you what is the difference. As of now, let's select this collective allocation.
So Akshay, coming to your question, you said those lines which are created with hash, those are created because we are using collective allocations managed by the system. If we go with no collective allocations, then system will be able to show you only 2 lines for 2 customers. It will not show you anything for all the customers. Hash values will not appear. Second option is you can manage it manually. So if you want, you can enter. If you don't want, it will be blank. So these are the 3 options available from here. In our case, because we use managed by the system is creating those 3 lines automatically.
Okay, got it.
Is managed by the system. This is period type. So you want to do the monthly plan or a weekly plan, or at what level you want to do the planning. So let's say we are doing the monthly plan, or let's take the daily plan. Okay, so every day I am manufacturing 100 quantity, and every day customers are asking me for this particular material. I will decide every day which customer will get how much quantity. Okay, so I can do day wise or I can do week wise as per your requirement. Let me go with week. Okay, time zone, system will automatically take by default whatever zone you are in, but if you want to change, you can change it. And the check date. Okay, so normally this availability check is performed at the requested delivery date. Okay, so when are you going to deliver this material to the customer? But there are some other dates also. If you want to select goods issue date, if you want to do the material availability date, so the check will be performed according to that particular date. Okay, according to me, I think most of the customers are using requested delivery date, and that is by default. Okay, and now you can add the characteristics here, whatever characteristics you want to add. So this is a list of characteristics which are available. So if you open the sales document, within the sales document, you have business partner. Within the business partner, again, you can see there are different groupings. So for example, if I want to go for sold to party, you can see sold to party group. Within sold to party, we have country, we have customer number, and we can have region. So I want to make it based on the customer number. This is my first selection criteria. Second characteristic.
Rajesh, your question, you can see customer group field is available.
Yeah.
So based on your requirement, you will be selecting the fields which you want.
Okay.
That I want to add is I want to add the distribution channel. And the third one that I want to add is material. So for material, I need to go to, let's see. Let's close business partner, sales document item. So within the item, I want to go with the material number. So I think that is enough. I want to do this at distribution channel level. Okay, only distribution channel may not look good. We also need a sales organization. So for a sales organization, again, I will go with sales organization, and this I'll select as sales organization. Okay. So now you can see distribution channel, material number, and sales organization. These are the three characteristics which are added. I think I selected customer also, but that is not added. So let's add it. So for customer, I need to go to business partner. Within business partner, I need to go to sold to party and customer number. Click on OK. Okay, you can see now there are 4 characteristics based on which I want to provide the plant values. So if I just save it. Okay, now system will allow me to enter the plant quantity for AATP PAL2. Okay, so what I'll do is, in order to maintain the plant quantity, I will go here. Okay, click on go. It will show you all the planning objects. This is what we just now created. And what you need to do is, as of now, you can see there is no plant data. So click on edit and system will ask you to enter the plant data. Okay, let's click on add. Okay, you can see 4 characteristics, that is distribution channel, material number, sales organization, and sold to party. And I can provide how much quantity I want to provide to the particular customer. Okay, this is how you can maintain the planned quantity. This is how you can maintain the product allocation. Okay, now what will happen when you create a sales order? Okay, so once you told the system that this is my allocation of this particular product to this particular customer, whenever you create a sales order, let's try to create a sales order. So if I go for VA01, okay, this is my order type, sales organization 1710. This is distribution channel and division. Okay, sold to party, I need to keep it same, what I provided in the allocation object. So let me show you what are my values in the allocation object. Okay, so my values in this allocation object is for this customer in April. Let's take in April. In April, it is only allocated 15 quantity. Okay, so what I will do is, let me first tell you one thing. Don't worry about this. Just I wanted to show you one scenario. That is the reason I'm changing here something, and then I'll tell you what exactly I have done. Okay, I'll explain you what exactly I have done here. Backward consumption and forward consumption is 0, 0. So now let's try to create a sales order for this particular customer, some customer reference date. Okay, I'm just maintaining the mandatory fields here. Okay, so we know that in the month of April, first of all, what we need to do is we need to change the planned delivery date. Okay, let's first enter it here. Customer is asking for 20 quantity. Okay, although in April, this customer is allocated with 15 quantity. Okay, and I need to enter the other details like amount and plant. Just give me a minute. Yeah, so this is my plant and this is the amount. Okay, let's press enter. Let's double click and change the delivery date. Okay, I want to change this delivery date to, let's say, (05/04/2020). Okay, so let's go back. Yeah, here itself you can see customer has requested 20 quantity, but system is showing we can only allocate 15 quantity. Why? Why we are saying the customer will only get 15 quantity? Because if you see here, this customer okay, you can see this particular customer is only allowed to consume 15 quantities of this particular material. Okay, and you will be able to see here in product allocation. It will clearly tell you what is happening in the background. So it is clearly telling you that on this plant delivery date, although customer has asked for 20 units, but we can only provide 15 units to this customer.
The reason why 15 quantity is allocated, because it is a restricted availability. Okay, maybe I'll explain in the video, but just understand it was a restricted availability. If it is not restricted, then we can go beyond that also. But if it is a restricted availability, we cannot go beyond the quantity which is entered in that product allocation.
Okay, so this is how this product allocation works. One more thing which I want to show you is now, see 15 quantity we can give to this customer for April. But let's assume that customer is also not given any sales order in the month of March. So this customer already has his quota available in the month of March also. Let's say he has directly given the order in the month of April. Okay, and we want to give this much amount. So we want to allocate 20 plus 15, 35, total quantity of 35 to this customer. In that case, what we need to do is we need to tell the system, whenever system is performing the product availability check, in the product allocation, system should also check if the customer has some quantity available in the previous month or in the next month also. Okay, so what we can do is, in this next activity, what we need to do is you need to tell the system, see, as of now, backward consumption 0, forward consumption 0. What do you mean by this? This means that the quantity will be checked only in the same month. It is only being checked in the April month. But if I want to check in the previous 1 month and in the next 1 month, so not only whenever I'm getting the order from the customer in the month of April, if I also want to check if the quantity is available in March and in May, I want to consider all those, then I will go 1, 1. If you want, you can go 2, 2, 3, 3, whatever is up to you. Okay, so I'm just keeping 1, 1. And now I will proceed with the same sales order. So what I'll do is I'll perform the availability check once again. Okay, let's click on this availability check button once again and see if there is any change now. Check item availability. Now you can see system is giving entire 20 quantity. How? You click on product allocation, it will clearly tell you that system is also checking the backward consumption of 1 month and forward consumption of 1 month. Okay, so total how much we can give to this customer depends upon how much quantity we have in the month of March, month of April, and month of May. Okay, so total quantity that we can give to this customer is 40 plus 15, 55, 75. Let's try to create a sales order with more than, okay, first let's try to do this as 50 and see whether we are able to deliver this to the customer or not. So first I'm changing this to 50. Enter. Just click on product allocation and see, you can see 35 till the month of April and remaining 15 system is giving in the month of May, from the month of May. Although we are delivering this everything to the customer on April, but the quota is coming from the month of May. Okay, and if I try to give anything more than 75, if I try to change the quantity to 70, more than 75, let's keep it as 80 and try to perform the availability check. You can see it's only able to give up to 75.
Yes, Akshay.
Yeah, you said that you will be able to deliver 50 on today date, but here I can see there are two proposed schedule lines.
Right.
So
That was wrong. You and I
it
agreed that is wrong because the confirmation date system is proposing in the next month only.
correct. So you will be able to give 35 only in today's date and remaining on the next availability date. That is
Right,
1/5. So,
right.
got it.
System is not able to give the complete 80 quantity because even if I go and perform this calculation, it is only 75. I cannot give more than 75. Okay, now why I'm not able to give more than 75? Because it is a restricted availability. So even this plays a very important role. Okay, here also constraint status, you can tell the system whether it is restricted or unrestricted. If it is unrestricted, this means that this customer will get even more quantity than he asked. But if it is restricted means I don't want to give this customer more than what I already provided, what is already allocated here. Okay, so this is also a very important thing that is called as constraint status, which tells the system how much quantity is allocated and whether it is allowed to give more quantity to this customer or not. Okay, let's try with this customer now. So this customer is not having restricted availability. Let's see what happens. So what I'll do is I will remove this sales order. I will create another sales order, VA01. Only one change that I want to do here is I want to change the customer number. So it is the next one only. I'll just remove 0 and enter 1. This is my customer reference number. This is my PO number, payment term, Incoterm. This one, material. This is our material. And what I'll try to do now is 20 plus 25 equal to 45 plus 20, 65. I will try to create a sales order of 70. Okay, for the same plant, which is this one and this much amount. Okay, so see, system is only able to give how much? System is only able to give 45. Let's see how. Let's go to the product allocation. So although customer has requested 70 quantity, but system is only able to deliver 45. Let's try to understand why it is 45. So it is 20 plus 25, which is equal to 45. And this 20 system is not able to deliver because the sequence that we are using is as in sequence constraint. Okay, which means it will not go and check the further one. It will only check whatever is available till today. So
Sequence constraint is in addition to restricted, unrestricted, you can create a sequence. So how this PAL objects will work, that is a sequence. But normally we don't use a sequence constraint that is provided by system directly. So normally we enter either restricted or unrestricted. If we are going with unrestricted, what will happen? System will be able to confirm 20 plus 25 plus 20. So 65 units. Okay, but if it is restricted availability, as I told you, system will not allow you to give anything more than whatever has been provided in this table.
sorry, my mistake.
Hello.
I think the problem is this.
Yes, Nagesh.
See, now we have minimum 20 we have to give. That is the constraint which we have created for that specific customer for a specific month. So what if if an order comes beyond 20, it should pick up from the general pool stock?
No, sorry, can you come again?
Now, we have restricted a sequence restriction, like two types of restrictions we have seen, restricted, and one more is sequence thing, right?
Don't worry about sequence. Don't worry about sequence.
Okay. We'll not worry about that. Say for example, I have allocated only 20 units for that specific month for the customer. Order come, I'll not do the back order or forward ordering. Assume this is the first
Okay.
month I am creating. I am giving minimum. See, whatever quantity he orders, I need to allocate him, but minimum is 20 for him. Okay.
It is unrestricted.
unrestricted, like 20. So later he
Right.
may order 25. If it is available in the general pool, I want to use that 5 quantity and allocate the order. In such case, what should I do?
So unrestricted, you need to enter the unrestricted here.
Okay,
If you enter
unrestricted.
restricted, yeah, if you
Unrestricted,
enter
if I provide unrestricted and 20, so 20 will be allocated to him. If anything is available in the general pool, then it picks that 5 and allocates. That's what you meant, right?
that is the reason it is unrestricted. So it is not restricting to 20. If
But
more
it
material
can
is
be.
available, more than that.
Okay. So at the same time, in a specific month, if that person doesn't consume, like, and
Mhm.
even in the future also in 1 or 2 months he's not consumed, or like he may not order further also, will that stock automatically moves to the general pool, or manually we have to move it to the general pool, that stock, so that some other customer can consume it?
No, see what system will do is system will automatically block this one for the customer. But if you want to do it manually, you can do it. You can utilize the stock which was not used by the particular customer.
So we need to release manually, right? There is no auto
Right.
option as such, right? Yeah. Okay.
No.
Vikram,
There's a system.
Yeah.
hello.
Yes, Akshay.
Let's say we have allocated 20 quantity for the 90 customer, the customer number 90. Okay, and there is
Mhm.
another customer which we have not maintained here, which is in general pool. Okay, but he has ordered some 100 quantity. Okay, so
Okay.
we have only 100 quantity, and he's ordered 100 quantity, and he falls under win category. So which take precedence, whether the product allocation we have 20 order 20 we have created and now it will go to win, or we have restricted for product allocated for the customer, so it should go to product allocation.
No, no, no. See, first of all, uh, you are combining both, right? Back order processing and product allocation.
Yes,
So,
there will be possibility in the other side.
right,
Okay.
right. I'll come to that. So, whenever
Hmm.
you are executing the back order processing based on restricted availability or unrestricted availability, system will give the preference. Again, based on restricted and unrestricted, that is one thing. Based on the delivery, based on the confirmation strategy also, it will impact. What is the confirmation strategy of this customer?
Okay.
So
So
in short,
if
these two things are
it,
different. See, take being performed. Yeah, let's understand one more thing. This product allocation is normally performed at the time of sales order creation, while back order processing will not consider the product allocation at all. When you are executing the back order processing, it is basically based on the confirmation strategies, which is executed after the product is already allocated.
hmm. Okay. Okay. So definitely it will fetch all the quantity from the this order.
Possible. If there is confirmation strategy is in loose or something, then it will definitely pick the quantity.
Okay. Okay.
If it is win customer, if it is gain customer, then it will not lose the quantity what has been allocated.
Okay. So I got the basic difference. It is on the sales order creation level, and that is after there is some back orders are there, then only that will back order processing will be scenario.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Amount. Let's try to understand why it is 45, 65, which is 20 plus 25 plus 20, 65. Because earlier what I had done is I told the system this one, so it was only checking 1 month back forward. It was not able to go at this level. But if I change the delivery date, it is taking 1 month backward and 1 month forward. So it is total 65 quantity which can be delivered to this particular customer. Because earlier what
Just try to
displayed
understand
the
this.
delivery date.
Why it was
So
taking 45?
that was my mistake. Let's go back, click on.
It was showing 45 because the date which we selected earlier was 30, and it was just considering the March and April. It was not considering the May month. Right now, when we change the date, maybe I'll just go back and you listen it once again. You will get the idea.
System is only able to deliver 45. Let's try to understand why it is 45. So it is 20 plus 25, which is equal to 45, and this 20 system is not able to deliver because the sequence that we are using is as in sequence constraint. Okay, which means it will not go and check the further one, it will only check whatever is available till today. Sorry, my mistake. I think the problem is with the delivery date. So that was my mistake. Let's go back, click on continue. If you double click on this and go to schedule lines, change the date here. Okay, now you can see it is able to deliver how much? 65, which is 20 plus 25 plus 20, 65. Because earlier what I have done is I told the system this one, so it was only checking 1 month back forward. It was not able to go at this level. But if I change the delivery date, it is taking 1 month backward and 1 month forward. So it is total 65 quantity which can be delivered to this particular customer. Okay, and now let me try to save this order.
Remaining 5 will not be in consider.
5 is not considered, right?
Okay, because we are checking only 1 month backward and 1 month forward.
1 month backward, 1 month forward, right?
Okay.
If I save this order, what you can do is you can come here and the last application which is available here called as product allocation overview. This will also tell you
This is
the
a KPI.
analytics.
This is an analytical application which will tell you how better you are utilizing your product allocation.
On product allocation. Okay, so let me show you one example here. Let me filter it. So I want to do it only for product allocation, which is AATP underscore PAL. I only want to see the data related to this particular product allocation object. Okay, so it is getting refreshed. What it will show you here is it will give you some KPIs. These are called as key performance indicators. Okay, this will give you the complete KPI about this allocation object. Okay, so it will clearly tell you how much is already used, how much is already consumed, and how much is still remaining. I think this app is not working properly in this system, but I can show you in one another way. So if you go to this manage product allocation planning data, okay, here also what you can do is you just open the product allocation object, this one, and here itself you can see the consumption, show the consumption. I want to see the consumption of this line. So total consumption, it will give you the graphical report. You can see this. So March consumption is already completed. So there was 20 units which we allocated in the month of March. You can see this color means consumed quantity. Okay, so out of the planned units, everything has been consumed. In April also everything is consumed. In May also everything is consumed. But in June, the allocated quantity is, I think, 50 units and everything is still available. Okay, so I cannot create the sales order for this customer in the month of March, April or May because I already utilized my product allocation. But in the month of June, again, I can create a sales order and I can still get 50 quantity based on this product allocation. Okay, so just a summary of what we discussed. What is advanced ATP? Advanced ATP is nothing but the new concept which is introduced in SAP S/4HANA. In SAP ECC, the basic product availability check was available. If you want to do this kind of product allocation features, it was only available in global ATP, GATP, which was part of APU. The problem was, if you want to perform these things in SAP ECC system, then there was a lot of configurations required in ECC, lot of configurations were required in APO, and there was a lot of data movement which was required between ECC and APO. Now with S/4HANA, SAP embedded this APO functionalities related to product allocation. Okay, and in this product allocation, what will happen now is there is not much of configuration. configuration is already very few configurations are available. Most of the settings can be directly done by the end user using this newly introduced Fiori apps. Okay, let me show you. So these are the new collections of app where the customer or where the end user can create their product allocation objects. They can decide the characteristics, they can enter the values. Okay, and they can also see the reports later on. Okay, only basic configurations which are required to set up this advanced ATP is I already shown you how to activate ATP. Okay, at the client level. And second, I already shown you how to activate the ATP at the product availability check level. There are some other configurations which are required. So let me show you. If you click on the sales order and if you just go to the procurement tab, you need to make sure that this schedule line category and requirement type, this both are allowing the availability check and advanced ATP features. Okay, so let me show you what exactly I mean by schedule line category and requirement types. So for this, again, I will go to the configuration, IMG. This would be available in sales and distribution. Within sales and distribution, again, we'll go to basic functions, availability check, transfer of requirements. Okay, and this is where you will find requirement class. Okay, which was 41 in our case, right? So requirement class was 041. This one, you can see here product allocation is active. This must be active if you want to use product allocation in your system. This is number one. Number two, schedule line category. Okay, so for CP, again, you can see there is product allocation functionality. So for CP also, this product allocation box should be ticked. Okay, that's it. So these are some of the things that you need to do in order to set up the product allocation. All the other things which are configurations in SAP ECC and APO are replaced with SAP Fiori apps, which can be done directly by the end user. Thank you. And we will see back order processing. So we just seen one part of advanced ATP, which is product allocation. Similarly, there is another functionality within a global ATP, which was there in APO called as advanced backorder processing, which is also part of SAP S/4HANA advanced ATP now. So in our next session, we will understand backorder processing. Thank you.
Okay, so backorder processing, as I told you, I explained you how exactly the backorder processing works. But what I'll do is I'll share that video also with you so that you can go on your own. You already understood how it works. But definitely, if you have any questions, you can ask on that. Okay, so it was clear now what is advanced ATP. This is definitely the topic that will differentiate you with others, because I am 100% sure, even if you are working with someone who has 10, 15, 20 years of experience in SAP SD, not even 1% of the SD consultants knows that this concept is available in S/4HANA. Okay, so this will definitely give you the edge even in the interviews, and definitely you can utilize this new topics, MRP Live, this advanced ATP. These are something which even 1% of the consultants who are already working in the industry from many years, they have still not upgraded themselves to these new concepts. Okay, any questions?
Okay. And the PPT, please share.
Yes. PPT I'll share.
Even earlier classes as well. That will be helpful, because every time we can't go into the video and pull and see. These PPTs will really help actually.
So PPT, I think I just shared yesterday and today, right? Otherwise, previously it was just the enterprise structure. I think that was shared with you, right?
No, nothing is shared. I think then none of the PPT.
Yes, sir. I think, sir, enterprise structure PPT we have, and then no other than.
No, otherwise I have never used PPT, right? I think it's directly to the system itself. But like, anything I'll share with you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Chalo.
And
Sir,
next session will be
I-
during the weekend, right? We don't have anything in the midweek.
No. We directly have on Saturday.
We'll have a regular
Hello.
class, right?
Tushar, can you just mute yourself? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Nagesh, you're asking something?
Have any class in the midweek? That's what.
No. Directly on Saturday.
Thank you.
Okay. Tushar, you were asking something?
Yes, sir. Actually, I have a doubt. Means I'm going to create a BP, so I am unable to see the standard BP row, and even in material master also, sir.
What error you are getting in BP?
BP, yes, sir.
You're not able to see this one.
Yes, sir. No, sir, this not the BP row.
So you are not able to see this codings, right?
Yes, sir. Because I don't know which one is the standard.
Right. Go to this button, options. Okay. In this options, go to interactive design, visualization 1, and make sure that these two boxes are ticked. Okay, then only you'll be able to see the codes. Otherwise, you'll be only able to see the description.
And the same in the material master also I can see.
Everywhere. Tushar, it is everywhere in SAP. Whenever you are doing F4, or sorry, whenever you are getting this kind of button and you are clicking on this, if you want to see the codes, then you should go with this configuration, this activation. Okay, click on those two indicators.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So SD can leave. I will just for MM guys. I think Raj and Saurav has joined. So I will just disconnect this call and connect once again. Okay, so just to keep the recording separately. Okay, Akshay, any questions?
No.
Okay, chalo then. We'll meet next Saturday.
Yeah. Thank you.